All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rechak Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone. I'm your brother, Rabbi Knapp, coming out with a lesson. Lord's will, this is edifying to the Lord's elect. So I got a strike today because I was using a news article on our first post. Yeah, so you know, I gotta wait 90 days for the strike to go. It's nothing serious, but you know, gotta be more careful. Out of all the things I say, it's like the smallest thing they strike you for. But the real shit, they don't strike you for that. They strike you for, but it's, you know, it's whatever, man. I ain't sweating it, man. You know, the Lord's word's gonna go out whether I do it or anybody does it, man. We just vessels that the Lord's using anyways. But you know, I want to go into this WEF thing. What is this? That's January 19th. 7 hours ago, Howard Lutnick just walked into Davos and torched the globalists. Globalism has failed. Net zero makes you subservient to China. You're entitled to have borders. This wasn't a speech. It was controlled detonation at WEF. Warm-up speech for Trump. I guess Trump's coming there.
Okay.
I don't know when Trump's coming, as a matter of fact. Let me find out real quick before I start here. When is Donald Trump going to Davos? Today's the 20th. This week, January 19, between 19 and 23, 2026, for the first time in 6 years, arriving on Tuesday, January 20th. So today's Tuesday, to speak and meet with world leaders amidst discussions on issues like Greenland and global economy, leading to the largest. So there's news on it then, right? What's on the table? What's this? 3 hours ago. 3 hours ago. Anyways, let me see what Lutnick said.
We are in Davos at the World Economic Forum. And the Trump administration and myself, we are here to make a very clear point. Globalization has failed the West and the United States of America. It's a failed policy. It is what the WEF has stood for, which is export, offshore, far shore, find the cheapest labor in the world, and the world is a better place for it. The fact is, it has left America behind. It has left the American workers behind. And what we are here to say is that America First is a different model, one that we encourage other countries to consider, which is that our workers come first. We can have policies that impact our workers. Sovereignty is your borders. You're entitled to have borders. You shouldn't offshore your medicine. You shouldn't offshore your semiconductors. You shouldn't offshore your entire industrial base and have it be hollowed out beneath you. You should not be dependent for that which is fundamental to your sovereignty on any other nation. And if you're going to be dependent on someone, it darn well better be your best allies. Okay? And so that is a different way of thinking. It is completely different than the WEF. I viewed the WEF as not a flagpole in the middle, but in fact, they are the flag. Whichever way the wind blew, so it blew. You should have solar, you should have wind. Why are you going to do solar and wind? Why would Europe agree to be net zero in 2030 when they don't make a battery? They don't make a battery. So if they go 2030, they are deciding to be subservient to China, who makes the batteries.
Damn. Woo, dropping bombs, man. What's
Okay.
this dude?
We are in Davos.
Slovakia. Yeah, man, there's a great economic separation, man, that we're starting to see here. But it's true what he's saying, man. You can't be subservient. If you're gonna be subservient, better be to your allies. You ain't supposed to trust your enemies to look out for you, man. They're gonna manipulate you. I wouldn't trust Moab either. But that's just not what the issue is. Ultimately, it's the Lord, man. He's the one that's creating all these issues. It was just all good just a week ago. Now the Lord's turning everything upside down, making all these things come to pass. All these prophecies are popping off the page all of a sudden. It wasn't like that about a year ago. None of this was, time is speeding up. Let's go there. Let's start right there. Lord is not playing, man. Time is just speeding up, man. Now you want to talk about these issues. Canada wanted to buy like over 49,000 vehicles from China. Why? Because they're cheaper. They don't want to empower America with the Tesla and all of that. They want better options and more political strength when it comes to dealing with their allies, but that's not what the scriptures. The scriptures don't align with Babylon when it comes to economic policies. Psalm 60:8. Moab is my washpot. Moab's the so-called Chinese man. He's the Lord's washpot, which is a servant. Okay, he cleaning the dishes, and what he's doing is the Lord is using Moab economically. They look like he's a good fit for these other nations to go to, as opposed to America and the way he does things. Because you're seeing how he's doing business. He's doing tariffs. He's doing this. You're not hearing that type of rhetoric from Moab. Moab's giving you a good deal. Wow, that you can't even refuse it. Over Edom will I cast out my shoe. So over Edom will he cast out his shoe. That's a transfer of power. He's taking power away from Edom, economically using Moab to do it, which is so-called Chinese man. Philistia triumphed thou because of me. So these heathen, they prosper because of the Lord. So that's what Esau's main issue is. It's the fact that he's coming up. The Lord is against him. Okay. That's his problem. It's Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay. Let's see what else they talking about. What's this? The Prime Minister goes to the World Economic Forum in Switzerland. Why does the WEF still exist? We know why it exists. To give billionaires more access to heads of government, as if they really needed more. The WEF has harmed average income people for the last 20 years. So, it looks like they're running some type of psyop again, man. Everyone knew about the WEF, but he never came through on his promises of draining the swamp. So you really can't trust nothing anymore. Can't believe any of this shit. But you can trust that the Lord's word is true. That's the only thing you can trust in. Do I want to listen to him for 2 minutes? No, I don't. Prime Minister Mark Carney at Davos. WEF rules based system fading into great power rivalry. Compliance won't grant safety in this era. Cites Havel's 1978 Power of the Powerless. Stop putting signs in windows that no longer hold true. Nations must stop pretending the old order still works.
It seems that every day we're reminded that we live in an era of great power rivalry. That the rules-based order is fading. That the strong can do what they can, and the weak must suffer what they must. And this aphorism of Thucydides is presented as inevitable, as the natural logic of international relations reasserting itself. And faced with this logic, there is a strong tendency for countries to go along to get along, to accommodate, to avoid trouble, to hope that compliance will buy safety. Well, it won't. So what are our options? In 1978, the Czech dissident Václav Havel, later president, wrote an essay called The Power of the Powerless. And in it, he asked a simple question: how did the communist system sustain itself? And his answer began with the greengrocer. Every morning, the shopkeeper places a sign in his window: "Workers of the world unite." He doesn't believe it. No one does. But he places a sign anyway to avoid trouble, to signal compliance, to get along. And because every shopkeeper on every street does the same, the system persists. Not through violence alone, but through the participation of ordinary people in rituals they privately know to be false. Havel called this living within a lie. The system's power comes not from its truth, but from everyone's willingness to perform as if it were true.
Damn, man, he pretty much cut the whole. That's what America's like. But I know he's talking about the times that he's in. But that's kind of like with this place. They ignore the fact that there's a whole nation here that they kidnapped, and they ignore the fact that they calling them shit something that they weren't. And nobody wants to give this nation back their nationality, which is especially the so-called black man. Oh my gosh, he was done. I don't care. Out of all the tribes, he was done the worst, man, because he's the head tribe. Because the Lord came out of Judah, you know, and the fact that these nations they play a blind eye to that. That just blows my mind. So I don't really care what none of these heathen are going through. You gonna get what you deserve. I don't even want to hear the rest of it, what he got to say. Your ass is going into slavery too. CNN reporter taken aback by staggering report about Trump's wealth during second term. What? Let me see how much money he getting.
It's been clear that the president and his family have been profiting hugely during Mr. Trump's first year in office, but today
No, he did not make $1,408,500,000. Come on, man.
New York Times editorial board published an estimate of just how much they've raked in over the past 12 months. By their accounting, it's at least $1.4
Imagine you made that in 1 year.
billion. Now, that includes income from licensing Trump's name, overseas real estate projects, as well as hundreds of millions of dollars from investments in cryptocurrencies, the money that Amazon paid Melania Trump, the family, for a documentary about Melania Trump. The New York Times investigative reporter Russ Buettner is here. It is staggering. A figure of nearly 1.4 billion. I mean, it's closer to 1.5 billion. It's incredible. Did it surprise you?
It's absolutely shocking. I think it's been shocking every month. I mean, I studied Donald Trump's finances, including obtaining his tax returns with some colleagues, for over a 20-year period. And this amount is really greater than the sum total of everything he made from his inheritance, from being on The Apprentice.
Profiting.
It got blurry.
Russ Buettner is here. It is staggering.
It's just blurry, fuck it.
A figure of nearly 1.4 billion. I mean, it's closer to 1.5 billion.
All right, I mean, I don't want to hear all the rhetoric, man. At the end of the day, he's getting money, okay? Right? So I'm going to go on to James, the 5th chapter. He's getting money, right? Misuse of riches. James 5:1. Go to now, ye rich men. Weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth, and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts, as in a day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you. So the Lord's pretty much saying, man, he's just fattening up the slaughter, man. Okay? He's just fattening you up. Hey, take that, take this, take that. Eat it up. You know, as in the day of slaughter. You know. Let's go into let's learn about the day of slaughter. When an animal is about to be slaughtered, do they feed it with a lot of food? No, animals are typically deprived of food, fasted for 12 to 24 hours before slaughter, not fed a lot, to empty their digestive tracts for safety and easier processing, though they usually have water until transport, but not always during it. This feed withdrawal prevents contamination of the meat by feces and reduces the volume of gut contents. improving food safety, and making slaughterhouse processing more efficient. All right, so I didn't know that. So, why do they say we're fattening you up for the slaughter? The phrase fatten you up for the slaughter is a metaphor describing a situation where someone is pampered, indulged, or treated well for a period, only to be destroyed, exploited, or taken advantage of later. It implies that the current comfort is not a sign of care, but a strategic preparation for a usually sudden downfall or betrayal. So that's what I was thinking about. Okay, but it's just a metaphor. I thought they actually fatten up the animal so they can slaughter it. But it would make more sense for you to deprive it of food, you know, because you don't want all that shit in its gut and shit while it can contaminate the meat. That makes sense. Agricultural roots. Historically, farmers feed livestock a high energy diet just before slaughter to maximize weight and meat quality. The animal is in effect well fed only to make it more profitable to kill. Biblical imagery. The phrase is often linked to the biblical book of James 5:5, which warns against the wealthy living in luxury and self-indulgence, and warns that they have fattened your hearts in a day of slaughter. Yeah, that's right. That's what I was thinking about. I just read James 5:5. The fatted calf, similar to the parable of the prodigal son, where a fatted calf is killed for a feast. The term implies someone is being prepared for a significant event, but in a cynical, tragic context. That event is their own downfall. Ooh, yeah, man. James 5, man, it's deep, man. Metaphorical usage. When applied to people or situations, it means false security. The target is lulled into a sense of safety and abundance, making them unsuspecting. Maximum exploitation. Someone is building up a person's assets, reputation, or confidence only to take everything at once, and that's what the Lord's coming to do. Betrayal. It is often used in political or business contexts where an ally is given power only to be used as a scapegoat later. You know what? And I was just thinking that had me reading Numbers, the 16th chapter. Number 16. No, Leviticus 16. Salakia. Leviticus 16, Law of Atonement. I forgot where it is. It's a pretty long chapter, but it goes into when you do the atonement, you get one sheep gets slaughtered, and the other sheep is like it gets left to go in the wilderness. Leviticus 16:21, and Aaron shall lay both his hands upon the head of the live goat, which is the scapegoat, and confess over him all the iniquities of the children of Israel, and all their transgressions, and all their sins, putting them upon the head of the goat, and shall send him away by the hand of a fit man into the wilderness. And the goat shall bear upon him all the iniquities unto a land not inhabited, and he shall let go the goat in the wilderness. So it makes you think like he gonna be left with all the sins. He did it all. Then Amalek can play like, hey man, that was him. I had nothing to do with that. You know, it's like the scapegoat. And I don't think he understands that he actually gonna be the downfall. He gonna be the fall guy. Okay, well the Lord's ultimately using him for that. He gonna be the reason why everything. He gonna get everybody prepared and ready for the Lord. Okay. What's this next one?
Support in.
It says Greenland Prime Minister thanks EU allies for opposing Trump's plan to acquire country. Let's see what it says.
Today, the Prime Minister of a strategic stronghold, Greenland, thanked European allies for their support in opposing President Trump's plan to control the land, saying relations with the U.S. and NATO must be grounded in mutual respect.
International law is not a game. And if we don't do that, of course alliances will fall, and that will be very bad in the way the world is developing now. We have been a close and loyal ally to the United States, to NATO through many years. We can do lots more in that framework. We are willing to cooperate much more, but of course in mutual respect. And if we cannot see that, it will be very difficult to have a good and reliable partnership.
When President Trump,
and don't forget, he went to the Davos, and he said, "Fuck you, Trump." He said something like "fuck off" or something like that. Actually, I think what did he say there? I forgot. He said something about "fuck off" or something like that. F off Trump, Denmark. Yeah, right here.
Let me put this in words you might understand. Mr. President, off.
There you go. He said it, man. He said it.
Trump was asked by a reporter today how far he's willing to go to acquire Greenland. The president said, quote, "You'll find out."
Ooh. You hear that? You gonna find out. You gonna find out, man. What's this? Oh, actually, I got the clip right here. You can hear him say it out of his own mouth.
How far are you willing to go to acquire Greenland?
You'll find out.
There you go. You'll find out. And I think he's willing to go very far.
We have tremendous national security because of tariffs and tremendous income. You know, we have, and by the way, no inflation.
Yeah, I just saw 1 billion. How you make 1 billion last year, man? I'm telling you. Everyone's broke. Maybe you gotta join politics, and that's how you make the money, man. That's how you do it, man. He's showing you how to get the bag. Those of you who want to get the bag, you gotta align yourself with him. Go work for him. He probably got a nice job. He give you a badge, give you immunity. You can go around locking people up, and he's not discriminatory either. ICE got Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Esau always used your own people against you, and then he turn around and fuck you over. But clearly, you don't know that.
So everyone said, "Oh, tariffs will cause inflation." We have no inflation. We have very little inflation.
I disagree with that statement.
Biden had inflation, and he didn't do tariffs. There's another way of doing it, but it's more cumbersome, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to scare you, but it's much more cumbersome. Not as good for national security as this. We have a perfect system right now. We're making a fortune. We've never been stronger, and I hope the Supreme Court does the right thing for our country. Because if they don't, it's such a problem. It's just so, it would be so sad. We're doing so well because of tariffs.
He might be doing well. I doubt this place is doing well because of tariffs. Ronald Reagan talked about tariffs and how that's going to lead to war and the fall of your economy.
What happens to the tariff threat to Greenland if the Supreme Court comes out and rules against you on the tariffs? And
well, I'll have to use something else. I mean, look,
going to use force?
you know, take a look at the word license, take a look at other things. I mean, we have other alternatives. But what we're doing now is the best, the strongest, the fastest, the easiest, the least complicated.
Yeah, let me put a bunch of tariffs out there, see if they negotiate for what I want. And if they don't do that, we can do it the easy way or the hard way, okay? But their blessing is the sword too. Those are Edomites too. Russia, hey, everyone's blessing is the sword now. So now you know, we'll see who got the sharpest sword. Who's sharpening their sword the sharpest? Stock markets react negatively to Trump's tariff threats over Greenland. Let's see what's going on in the stock market today.
Now that's the opening bell on Wall Street. Ringing the bell today is the Memorial Foundation in commemoration of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day and his 97th birthday. Now the Dow is beginning the day in the
I just looked at it. I think he died like at 39, man. He was young.
red with a big sell-off. I mean, this, of course, right, it's the first day of trading since the president announced those tariffs on European nations who don't support his Greenland takeover plans. Market, of course, was closed yesterday for MLK Day.
Right, already down. Look at that.
Yeah,
600
though
points.
not as much as the futures overnight. But I do want to bring in Joe Scioli. He's the executive editor at Business Insider and the author of First Trade, a daily markets newsletter. So, Joe.
Slovakia for the view, it just sucks, man.
I mean, we were just talking about it, right? The markets are reacting to the president's threat of more tariffs on European countries. In the past, we haven't seen the runaway inflation that everyone predicted because of those, tariffs that he put on back in April. So what do you think is really driving this sell-off here?
Yeah, so I think this is very much the Trump playbook. He likes to come out and come out with something really strong that he can then, he assesses the market reaction. He sees, what the people that he's, competing with in the global sphere has to say about it, and then what he has done is and the reason why we've seen this situation sort of stay in check during the first year of his term has been because he's had the willingness to come in and make compromises and scale back the original announcements that he makes, and he really he wants to threaten like the worst case scenario for people and then sort of walk it back slowly. And I think what you're seeing here is these are some pretty extreme tariffs. He's saying he's going to.
So are you saying he's manipulating the stock market? Because that's what it sounds like.
Put 10% tariffs starting on February 1st on 8 NATO members who have come out in defense of Greenland, and so that would raise the effective tax rate quite a bit. If that were to actually go through, it would of course have to be approved and go into place, and there were a lot of steps where it would actually have to materialize, and so this is just like that first step, kind of the punch in the mouth. And Trump is at Davos this week. He's going to address everyone on Wednesday, and I think there's the reason why,
which is tomorrow. So I'm going to be looking to hear what he has to say.
You mentioned futures were down more overnight than they are right now, is because I would imagine people are expecting him to come in a little bit on this, and they recognize this as sort of the game of chicken that he often plays with the tariffs.
All right, so Kelly and I, Joe, were just talking about...
and you know what? It's good to watch the stock market, because where the money flows, that's how you know where a lot of things are... you can see kind of like where the play's going.
The marking of the first year of President Trump's second term in office. A lot of promises that he made to improve the economy. The unemployment rate is in a healthy range, but of course, as we know, the cost of groceries, housing, energy is all up. What does that indicate about the health of the economy overall? And I know, Kelly, you sent out a note this morning sort of diagnosing some of those issues, but I think for people who are watching us, if they are seeing that we are not in a free fall, as some had predicted, mostly Democrats, that we would be in a free fall, but they are seeing prices at home, prices in the grocery store rising. What should they understand about what's happening here? You guys can both sort of wax eloquent on that.
Yeah, so I think what you did see was inflation wasn't runaway. It wasn't horrible like many expected with the tariffs, and a big reason for that was that he walked a lot of them back. A lot of those initial, I think it was last April, Liberation Day is what we called it. A lot of those tariffs that he announced that day that tanked the market didn't end up coming to fruition. Variations of them did, but nothing as extreme as what he said originally. And you're right, inflation, it's trending nicely towards the Fed's target of 2%. It's not quite there yet. The unemployment rate did decline. There has been a little bit of sign of easing of tension in the labor market. So, the economy this year is expected to grow nicely. Wall Street has really strong forecasts for both the economy and stocks, and especially in the first half of 2026. I think what people are worried about is maybe wanting to have his cake and eat it too. Often when we get a good result, it's we want to push for more. So when it comes to things like wanting to cut interest rates more than we have already, or to do things like additional tariffs, it kind of threatens to rock the boat in terms of inflation. But as of now, inflation has been moderated. There are some pain points. You mentioned the grocery store. That's been one of them. But in other areas like gas at the pump and in other areas of the economy, inflation has come down quite nicely.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, I think the gallon of gas is...
That's bullshit. When you got something like Bitcoin that's worth pretty much $80,000, that's a good sign of inflation. Okay, when your beef price is going up, the coffee and things like that. It's been the highest they ever been. So they'll tell you what you see is what you're paying for. You don't forget what your eyes see. Okay, you'll buy a little thing of coffee that's just like $5-6. I just went and paid like $5-6 for a container of coffee. I forgot the size, maybe an 8 ounce of coffee grinds. It was around $8 for the cheapest brand. So I don't remember it always being like that. But the scriptures say in 1 Timothy the 6th chapter, do not trust in uncertain riches. 1 Timothy 6 and in verse 17, charge them that are rich in this world that they be not high-minded, nor trust in uncertain riches, but in the living God, who giveth us richly all things to enjoy. So if you rich in this world, don't trust in these assets, man. Okay, because at any moment you have no control. He can say something, he can do something that the stock market will crash, plagues crash. Okay, digital currencies, he can do whatever he wants, man. You just want that healthy fear of the Lord. You don't wanna lose that. That's very important. Okay, let's go to Proverbs 30. And verse 7, 2 things have I required of thee, deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me, lest I be full and deny thee, and say, who is the Lord, Yahweh? Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my God in vain. So we don't want to do that. Okay. We want to be in good standing with the Lord. Okay. Let me grab this. Philippians 4 verse 10, but I rejoiced in the Lord greatly, that now at the last your care of me have flourished again, wherein ye were also careful, but ye lacked opportunity. Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content. I know both how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Hamashiach, which strengtheneth me. So, that trust in the Lord, that no matter what position you're in, that you still have that connection to the Lord. You gotta, whether you're abounding or whether you're abased, you want to always trust in the Lord. You need that healthy balance that the Lord keeps you constantly knowing that you need him, and that this word isn't just going in one ear and out the other. You're constantly looking for the Lord's provision. Okay, your daily bread. Okay, ultimately that daily bread is your belief in him and trusting in him. If he don't give you that, man, if you lose that, man, you're done. Okay, I was just watching a video where brothers Waka walked up to one of the camps, and the brothers was trying to talk to him, and them see if I can find that video. Yeah, let's find that video real quick. The brothers were trying to talk to him, and he didn't want to listen. You know, as a matter of fact, I forgot. Yeah, real quick. And this is the brothers in Waka Flocka.
Yep, go ahead. It says, for the
Salakia, let me just skip to the point.
of Israel, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Indians. So if you saying you're a Blackfoot Indian, first of all, when you go to the word Indian, who gave you that term Indian? Right. But which one are you? Are you okay? So you come from the Northern Kingdom tribes, or Hebrew Israelites. You might not.
Nah. What you mean, nah? See, that's the spirit, man. That's the spirit. He got the sign. He don't want to look at that.
I don't accept that. That's what God's like. What? Listen, you believe in the Bible? You don't believe in the Bible? Okay, well, the Bible, which the God of the heavens and the earth.
Damn, man. You know what? This is, going back to that Proverbs 30:7. Go back to Philippians, the 4th chapter, man. You don't want to be like that, man. That money will have you, like, proud. You look down at your brother, man, like, brother's trying to save your life out here, man, and you won't even lend him an ear to hear what he's talking about.
No, KJV. King James Version. No, he wasn't a gay black man. See, you got to do your research, brother.
All that gay black man shit, man. You better put some respect on King James, man. And I ain't talking about LeBron James either. Okay, he translated your Bible into English, and of course Esau's gonna put a lot of disrespect because y'all trust everything this devil says, and you walking around shaming your own people, listening to him.
I understand where you're coming from, but you got to go deeper than that. Because King James, he wasn't gay, and he was a black man. But the Bible, but besides him.
That's right, Doc. Hold it down, man. Holding it down for the truth. And the brother trying to wake you up, man, you got that pride, man. That pride to keep you from accepting the Lord, getting that daily bread.
He wasn't. But besides him, the Bible is about us. That's our history book. It's like, who was that? Okay, so that's your counselor? If that's your spiritual God, that's everybody, brother. Okay, well, ask him what MOTB is. What's the mark of the beast?
Let's get to the nitty-gritty.
What's the mark of the beast? Let's see how much he knows. Oh.
I got Mike on the shepherd.
I just said him. Now, what's the mark of the beast?
Hey, that's a daily double right there.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. He don't even know you pulled out a double-edged sword.
I was on first week.
No, tell me answer the question. What's the mark of the beast?
You got the guy that's gonna interview.
He don't know, Flocka. He don't know, Flocka. He said he don't know.
Flocka might be too far gone, man. You don't know what these dudes had to do to get to the position at the end, man. Not that the Lord's arms are not long enough that he can save anybody, but some people, man, the Lord ain't dealing with everybody. He might have had you walk by the prophets just so he can condemn you. And that's a horrible thing, man. He trying to give you back your nationality. I don't read the Bible. Like, what? You don't read the Bible, and that's Jake, man.
You don't know, bro. What's the mark of the beast, brother? Yeah. What's the mark of the beast? Oh, man.
Why you call somebody? You know, these dudes, man, out of their damn minds, man. Let me call some dude that ain't even here, and that shit's just, people have demons on them, man. Typically, you know, you read the book of Mark or Matthew. I'm gonna finish this before I go over there. You know, it talks about how Satan comes and sifts the seed that was sown, roughly paraphrasing. He called somebody to distract him from what's being. He didn't want the word at all, man. He got that stony ground.
Oh man, hey, you know dreads ain't our custom either, bro. Yeah. Having dreads ain't our custom. I didn't say about the Christians. I ain't say nothing about Christians. No. The Bible's about the Israelites. The Bible talks about Hebrews. Yeah. Isaac and Jacob. What? No. What's the mark of the beast, brother? Oh. You cool with Abraham? You cool with his niece, right? Is that what the scripture say? Is that what the scripture say?
Yeah, this man, he seemed like he don't really think for himself, man. He don't think for himself, man. Somebody that does that, he got a lot of people putting bugs in his ear, but he ain't really standing on business like that. He ain't really, something wrong with Waka, man. He might be too far gone, man. Something wrong with that man.
Do you believe in the Bible, brother? See, y'all don't believe in the Bible.
Bro, we never said that. We just asked you. You got to answer. I answer the question.
No.
You just said I heard you say you didn't believe in the Bible.
He answered my question though.
Yeah, we do.
So what's the mark of the beast? What's the mark of the beast?
Them chips in your body.
Okay, good. Walk.
Them chips in your body, so he know, man. I like Waka too, man, but all that getting money, you know, he tried to go buy some gas station. I forgot what he tried to do, but this place, you're not gonna be able to enjoy that money that you had, man. You ain't, man. Everyone you talk, we all could rap, bro. You don't think we could rap, bro? Come on, man. We all could have went down that route, man. But we didn't want to go there because we found the Lord. Play ball, do all that nigga shit, man. Fuck that nigga shit, man. Serving the Lord is the only way you become a man. If you ain't being obedient to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua to the best of your ability, you're not a man. Okay? So you denying the Lord shows you where you are through the Spirit. You probably one of their sons or something, man. You're going to have your head down in the kingdom. But it's all right. You still Israel, you know. You still going to be righteous at the end of the day. But, you know, brothers want to see you live, man.
Waka said the mark of the beast is an RFID microchip going in your body. That shows you the gospel has been preached. The word is out there. All right? We the last days. Now, let me ask you this. Is you going to take that chip? Is you going to take that chip?
Any conversation? Ask a question.
Of course. So what's the question? What that got to do with all hell breaking loose in America? He asking retarded questions.
We're coming into prophecy. We in the time of prophecy right now.
If he don't believe in the Bible, then he ain't working on it.
Explaining it to you.
He ain't explained nothing. He asking silly ass questions.
What was the question?
Somebody grab that. Avoid foolish questions. Let's bring it out real quick. That's a foolish question.
Yeah, he ain't. I don't get hit. I don't know. I can't even explain it, man. Someone like that ain't just. His mind ain't really there, man. His mind ain't even there, man. It's sad to see somebody like that when you gotta call somebody and the dude's on the phone. He sound like a damn demon, a full-blown demon. And he probably be talking to him like he the most wise around him, and he's not. He's just a demon, you know. And the Lord tried to get you to the prophets, and you can't even accept it. So it's like you choosing your own destruction.
That's all right, man. We gonna keep going. We was looking for. Hey, don't take that chip. Don't take the chip. The market beast. Don't take it. All right. Hey, just know that all lights is getting ready to be shut down here in American Great. Everything is getting ready to switch. And this walk around is getting ready to switch. You know where I get a market for a blood wrap? Hey. And you Chinese? No. Japanese? No. Which one? Blood. You have blood, literally. Well, what your daddy is? What's that? What your daddy is? His father Chinese, his mother black. Okay, your father Chinese. So you Moab. You Esau. You an Israelite. All right? According to the Bible. According to the Bible. Listen. I'm asking you one question. You haven't traveled outside of America? Yeah, I have. You been to more than 3 countries, 4 countries? Nah, I mean, it ain't necessarily.
Nigga asked him, have you been out the country? Have you been to more than 4? What's that have to do with the Bible, you fool? That's that pride, man.
Huh? What? Sometimes what's going on, you ain't never leave this motherfucker. That's cool. So that's cool. Hey, that's why America gonna get destroyed, man. Yeah.
And that's a scoff, man. That's not good for you, Waka Flocka, man. I wouldn't have said that, man. Because at the end of the day, you might look at these men as just some dudes on the corner, you know, but through this interaction, you were in the presence of the Lord, man. And if he was trying to talk to you through these men, and you kind of just pulled your shoulder. Okay, and that could just be the cutoff point. I wouldn't be surprised, you know, especially in the times that we're in, man, that you know, we'll see, you know. Lord's will, you just come to the truth, and we don't have to see you get front paged, you know. But I'm gonna just leave it like that. But, you know, deny the Lord, man. He only tells you in Acts 17, man, at the time of ignorance, he winked at all your ignorance. You know, you made it up to this point today. Man, you prospered in the world a long time, but where's the glory to the Lord, man? No glory to the Lord, man. It tells you in the book of 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter, you know, you benefited in, let me grab that. I don't want to make this too long, but can't grab it there. 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter. You benefited without, I can barely quote it. Yeah, 2nd Esdras 9:9. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torment. So you think you're gonna prosper? You might be sitting on a bag. You're gonna be dwelling in torments. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. So you've been benefiting. You've received benefits, man, and the Lord got you set up very well, man. You know, he set you up very well and, you know, kept you preserved. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty. So right now you have liberty, but you loathe the law. He was trying to share it with you. You know, he was trying to get into the dreadlocks. You know, even though, you know, it really just started with the name. But, you know, it's all through the spirit what's being said. So it's not like you should have said this. So, you know, it was more so that's what the priest said, man. You know, so maybe the Lord ain't feeling your locks. And he probably told you, I don't know. You know, it's everything spiritual. You know. who knows? That could be the reason why you really can't receive the Lord. You know, people doing your hair. You know, they putting shit in your hair. You know, that got you, you know, just kind of like dumbed down a little bit, man. You got to watch out who dealing with your head and all of that. You know, a spiritual man will receive what's being said and perceive it. You know, he can apply it to his life and see, right, you know what, maybe it's this bitch that I'm with. Maybe I need to, you know, stop going to this place. You know, that's you using the spirit. You know, I don't know. I'm just trying to give an example, because all these conversations, man, if you could look and, you know, hyper analyze what's being said and actually see his life, you know, through the you know, his personal life, like if it was like a movie or something, you would see that that was the advice he actually needed. 2 Corinthians 9 and 11, and us all through the Spirit. And they that have loathed my law, meaning you hated his law while they had yet liberty, like you do today, you have liberty to obey the Lord. And when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. And you kind of despised it at the end. But you know what? When you don't understand, you're not going to get it. You know, maybe you need to be, some brothers need to, but some brothers need to hear it multiple times. But there's coming a point where you're not going to be able to hear the word anymore. All right? And the people around you clearly are not wise, because the dude on the phone know about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but you don't. Okay? He ain't telling you about that. So you're not around wise people. That's the most important thing. All right, he knows Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but yet he can't go back to the Lord. He don't know. What else does he know that he ain't telling you about this Bible? Because you don't believe in the Bible. Okay? And you were kind of saying that y'all don't really believe in that. So you got a bunch of demons around you. 2 Corinthians 9 and 12, the same must know it after death by pain. So that's ultimately what's going to happen to you, man. You're just going to have to learn by death by pain. Okay? At the end of the day. Let's see if that's...
Yeah, all the ones who don't, everybody who don't want to repent, that's on fuck out here, man.
You see? He told him. He ain't hold back his sword from blood.
All y'all that ain't want to repent, your whole heart shit down the shot, gonna fucking destroy all y'all.
You see? Think he playing?
Man, that's what we coming into, man.
That's right.
See, all the fucking bullshit, all the playing the games, all that shit's done, man.
See? And nobody wanna, you don't wanna listen, man. Proverbs 28. I ended on this. Proverbs 28 and 1. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion. See, the wicked flee, you know, when no man pursueth. You got to get up out of there, because ultimately, through the Spirit, he feels the pressure. He feels the heat. Them demons, he has to listen. He's starting to incline. He wanted to get out of there. Oh, let me call somebody, you know, because those demons were being irritated being around the men of the Lord. Okay? So he left. But I'm going to end it here. Lord's will, this is edifying. Shalom.